Damn. I was actually entertaining this dumb son of a bitch. There was this guy that commented on one of my posts or something that he sees shadows or what. How come he's able to see shadows or whatever, and that he sees Jesus or whatever. I was starting to entertain him though. Bravo. I'm not gonna lie. That's the first time that kind of troll has like infiltrated. I actually did a video response, but I took it down, telling him that basically different people have different gifts or whatever, right? Some people just flat out see them like in daytime or whatever, right? Like spirits or whatever. People are different, right? Like I see them in dreams, half between sleeping and dreams, right? I'm like, is this guy yanking my chain or something? And then I go to his profile. It's just a bunch of like anime shit and then like biblical quotes. And then I look into his following, who he's following. There's like some like religious accounts. There's a bunch of those dumbass. What is it? The people that pretend to be like chicks or whatever, right? With their bikinis or whatever, right? I'm all like, this guy's fucking yanking my chain. I'm all like, get the fuck out of here. That's sad. Man, and it's interesting because I was actually taking him serious at first. You know, uh, it's like they see this as a spooky kind of thing, like occultism or whatever, when in reality it goes deep, depending on who you talk to. You know, me from a Hispanic background, a Mexican background, I was looking into the Lady of Guadalupe's origins. You know, if you want to get biblical, quote unquote, right? If we want to deconstruct this from an intellectual point of view, um, you know, the Lady of Guadalupe, I'm all like, how come the Spanish, how come there's no version of the Lady of Guadalupe, the brown Lady of Guadalupe over there in Spain? You know, because they wanted to shut up the natives, basically, you know. They watered down uh, the Aztec goddess that represented nature. You want to talk about patriarchy? There it is. You know, they watered down the Aztec figure. I believe her original name was Donatzin. You know, forgive me. You know, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it was something along those lines. And basically, what the Spanish did said, let's appease the natives. Let's give her, you know, yes, she's a Catholic saint, you know, worshiper, blah, you know. That was basically the Earth Mother, you know. That was our representation of Mother Nature. And, you know, what's the thing about Mother Nature? You can't tame her, you know. So it's kind of sad. That's, you know, so from a Mexican standpoint, a brown person standpoint, a minority standpoint, it's really fucking offensive when people come on this app and be all like, oh, Jesus will save. He ain't gonna save shit, you know. You should you should pray to him to give you brains. How about that? And you know, it's interesting because you don't see Satanists going on their websites or pagans or whatever and saying convert to our shit, because we're too busy working on our shit, you know. Some of us actually see and hear beings, you know, not fucking pray to Yahweh and not even get a crumb of attention for 80 or 90 years. You know, that's sad. But I was going to, you know, to get back to the point, I was going to indulge him and say, if you see Jesus, ask him something, you know. If, you know, if you really see him, if you see his egregore, his thought form, or what you think is Jesus, ask him stuff, you know. If you're still from that biblical standpoint, ask him something. How come I don't see any testimonies on your page? You know, fuck. If I saw what I thought was Jesus, I'd be all like, damn, what really were you? You know. But no, nothing of that on his website, you know, or I mean his TikTok or whatever. See, the thing is, you guys are so fucking ignorant. I'm talking to like the hardcore zealots, the Christians, hardcore, the Bible thumping ones. You guys are so fucking ignorant. You don't even realize that some occultists actually work with angelic spirits, you know. And the thing about me is, I'm open minded. You know, I'm willing to say, you know what, I really, you know, I'm willing to experiment. This is what people consider Gabriel's, or Saint Michael, or whatever's seal. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna work with it. Let's see if I really see them. But they don't realize that. But yeah, the occult is a vast thing. Not everybody that you meet. I don't know. See, the thing is, you've already made a judgment in your head. You know. But I'm telling you, it's vast. But whatever. He doesn't deserve a response. I blocked him already. But anyways, from a Mexican, from my standpoint, that's the colonizer's religion. That has nothing to do with me. There's not one Mexican talked about in the Bible. So how am I to relate to something like that? Not only that, so I'm supposed to forgive everything the Spaniards did to my people. Your churches are built in Mexico over the ruins of Aztec temples. That's basically my thing. Yeah. People be like, I'll pray for you. How many prayers have you guys said? Because I don't feel shit. But anyways, yeah, that's my thing on religion. All right. But anyways, this is Johnny Khan, aka Nazis to Conquer. Peace.